Namaste and welcome to the Divas That Care Network. I'm your host, Gia-Raquel Rose, owner of Airs Above Yoga, and you are listening to Above the Ground podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, our network is in its 16th year and listened to in over 30 countries. I would like to personally thank you for giving me the gift of your time. As always, it is my honor to hold space with and for you. And as we move through our series on standing in your truth, speaking your truth, using your voice, hearing your voice, knowing your voice, using your voice, being and embodying your voice. It's a trigger, I think, for a lot of people. I really believe that, especially as women, and I will kind of die under that flag. And I will say it in every episode where I, as a woman who identifies as such, um, and without any shade or resentment or judgment of anybody else who chooses or feels a certain way within themselves, I have nothing but respect for you and your choices. But there is an inherent, latent, ancestral, I hate to say it, but victimization of women, of the divine feminine, of the female body, mind, spirit. It's there. And so when I talk about this, I don't ever want to speak from a place that alienates anyone else who feels a way within themselves. But I will say that if you were born a woman with female organs, female hormones, if you are a female, if you were born with the genetic markers of a woman, historically, we have been both vilified and victimized. Our voices have been silenced. These are kind of irrefutable truths. It's very upsetting to see that even now we still live in, there are still plenty of societies that still do this outright. We happen to be, if you live in certain parts of the Western globe, if you live in the United States, if you live in Canada, if you live in certain areas, I guess we're luckier. Western Europe, parts of Europe, we're luckier. We are the luckier women in certain respects, but also sometimes not. And so this episode is a meditation, but I have to preface it because I know that there are, so many underlying themes and people can get caught up in them. And I, I'm a woman, I identify as a female woman. I respect you as however you identify. However, as a woman, I will always stand first for the rights of other women. I always will. And I will speak for the pain and suffering that our section of the species has been forced to endure over millennia. And I will never not do that. So anyone can enjoy this meditation. This is a meditation about your voice. This is a meditation about your truth. This is a meditation about freeing your voice and freeing your truth. If you have not gone back and listened to last week's episode called Clear the Crap, I talk about, as a Reiki master, how I often come across blockages, stagnant energy, what looks like what looks like cobwebs, what looks like static, depending on the client, and I won't go into details obviously out of respect for their privacy, but most female clients that I work with have some form of debris, blockages, energetic or otherwise, in their throat chakras. So why is that? It's personal for everyone, but there can be an element of systemic oppression passed down through generations. If you believe in that, I do. You don't have to, and I won't make you. But I happen to believe that it comes down in our genes, it comes down in our bloodlines, it comes down through what our mothers and their mothers and their mothers have endured. So there's something about the DNA code, and that can be latent in there as well. I'm not going to get into things that I can't explain, but I will say that this meditation is for anyone, not just women, anyone and everyone, no matter your identification, no matter what you align with. And I will not say that there aren't men who have suffered, that there are not men whose voices have not been heard, that there are not men who have been oppressed. That is clearly true. So I take nothing away from others. I simply speak to what I know or what I've experienced, so that I can speak as informed as I possibly can. And again, I wish to alienate absolutely no one. This meditation is for everyone, but it is coming from a place of, divine feminine rising. I'm not going to lie, it is. And it's coming from a place of self-empowerment, of first, as I said last time, there is a way to speak your truth from a place of kindness. And sure, we may mess that up. I've messed it up. I messed it up recently. And I usually try to be very, very precise with my words, because words are as sharp as a knife. They cannot be taken back. And so I always make an effort to be very conscientious about my speech. However, I'm going to speak my truth in what I have just said. And I'm also going to share that this meditation is to help you free your truth, your voice, whichever you need. It might be different for everyone. You may have you may have an overactive throat chakra, right? Like you may speak a lot. You may have diarrhea of the mouth. That's an imbalance too. That's not what we're going for. We're going for balance. So it may not be freeing your throat chakra that we're looking for anyone watching or practicing this meditation. It may be balancing. Silence is as much knowing what not to say, knowing when not to speak, not disturbing the silence is as important as speaking sometimes, knowing when, tapping into that intuition, understanding where your power really lies. Sometimes silence is louder than speech. Oftentimes it can be. So this, again, with every meditation I ever do, it's about tapping into your intuition. The channel that I bring to you is a way for you to tap into yours. I'm tapping into mine to share with you a way to tap into yours, so that when you make these decisions, they're coming from you, not from me, not from my higher self, but from your higher self, from your soul's connection to the divine, from your whatever you want to call it. I don't like labels. I don't love them, if you couldn't tell. So with all of that being said, if it's not, some people do struggle with their voice. They struggle with standing up for themselves. They struggle with speaking up for themselves. If that's not you, then I hope this meditation helps you find whatever truth needs to be brought into your awareness now, whatever truth belongs to you in this moment. And your truth is subject to change day to day, minute to minute, moment to moment. It's true. What is true for you now may not be true for you tomorrow. So allow that to be okay. And I am not excusing fickle, flighty behavior, as I said in my last episode, but there is an element of growth in understanding. And I will share something that I had said throughout my life, and it was a belief, I suppose. I always said that respect was earned. Respect was earned. And I can't remember who it was that I saw, so forgive me for not giving credit where it was due, but someone said that respect is inherent. And they used the metaphor of a child not wanting to be touched or not wanting to be interacted with in a certain way. And that is the respect of that child's autonomy over their body, right? And as we're talking about our voice and speaking up for ourselves and standing in our truth, that is another way to process this information and this idea of respect, that it's not earned, it is inherent. The respect of, walking up to a dog on the street and sticking your hand out. You're not respecting that dog. thinking of you wanting to pet that dog. That is a you problem, not the dog's problem. There is an element of respect of boundaries, respect of the other in a dog, in a child, in an adult, in another person, another car driving down the road who has road rage. Raise your hand. This girl right here. So if I was wrong in my belief system for many, many years that respect had to be earned, when I started to process, oh, wait, that's true. Like that child does deserve to be respected with their own wishes about their own body, right? That doesn't mean that every child that screams out, I want a cookie, that's respecting the child. So again, discernment, right? Reality, rationality. But then I had to redefine my belief that it wasn't respect that had to be earned, that it was trust. And that trust and respect are two pillars, I believe, in any relationship with any other human being and potentially any other animal. So an animal, especially, I think it's more tangible or more easy to be understood when you're talking about an animal because they can't speak, right? So you have to that earning an animal's respect is or trust, I should say, earning an animal's trust is a beautiful thing because it's just soul to soul. You can't communicate with them, and it makes it pure. Whereas earning a human's trust, unfortunately, people can lie. Trust is easily broken. And an animal can break your trust too. You can train a puppy to not pee on the carpet, and then they're going to pee on the carpet a year after you thought they were done, right? So there's an element of that as well. But the bottom line is that the change in belief structure is what I mean when I talk about what's true for you one day may not be true for you another day, and let that be okay without giving you letting that be carte blanche for you not keeping your word and not remaining in integrity. That is not my point. It's just an example. So as I've gone through all of the lead up, I will now share what I share every time we go through a meditation. I invite you to meditate with me. I always invite you to set yourself up comfortably, and the most important thing. So every meditation episode, I do the same thing. I give you this time right now. This is your moment to set yourself up in meditation in a place that is comfortable. I will now go through the different ways that you can do this. If you can sit comfortably upright, either in a cross-legged seat or in a chair with your back supported and your feet grounded, those are seated options for you. Traditionally, obviously, meditation is done cross-legged or in lotus position. If you really have happy knees and ankles, you can sit in lotus. Otherwise, you can sit cross-legged. Otherwise, you can sit in a chair comfortably with your back supported and your feet on the ground. I personally, as long as you can do so without falling asleep, because we don't want you to fall asleep necessarily, relaxation is good. Unconsciousness is the opposite of what we're going for in a guided meditation. So if you can remain comfortable in a reclined position without falling asleep, then I oftentimes meditate in a reclined position. It is not traditional. Technically, your chakras are still in alignment, and technically, they're still grounding down into the earth beneath you. So I hope that, the ascended masters that were meditating before I was, ever incarnated in this body will forgive me for saying that I am a fan of reclined meditation, because I think it allows people to really settle in and be completely supported and at ease and in comfort. And that is how I believe you are best able to really align with your higher self and your connection with the divine and experience the meditation, because you're not being taken out of your focus by pains and discomfort in the body. If you do choose to lie down, a few options for you. You can take, if you have a yoga mat, let's pretend you have a yoga mat. You can take your edges of the feet to the edges of the mat. You can allow your knees to rest in on each other. If you need to, press into the feet, tilt the tailbone underneath and roll the lumbar spine out. That'll give you a nice long reduction in the curve of the lumbar spine. This is a nice sacral release. It should be comfortable if you don't have access to blocks, blankets, or bolsters to prop the knees. Sometimes legs outstretched can cause some tension in the lower back for some people. If that doesn't for you, that's the other option for you. You can lay out in a traditional Shavasana position with your palms faced up at either side or face down if you need more grounding, and allow your toes to fall out to the sides. with legs outstretched, if that is something that is accessible and comfortable to you. Lastly, and one of my favorites, however, it is the least grounding of all of the meditation options because it would be legs up the wall. You know, legs up the wall has a whole host of health benefits. It's one of my favorite postures to be in no matter what. That being said, if you're talking about meditation and grounding, your legs being up the wall and your feet aiming at the ceiling, not so much with the grounding. So, one way that you can get around that is by placing either you depending on your level of OCD, you can place an eye pillow, maybe with a towel around it, or a very floppy pillow that's not going to fall off your feet and land on your face mid meditation, but that can kind of ground and support your feet and give you that kind of third point of contact to feel that sensation of groundedness while still getting the health benefits of the decompression of the legs, the blood flow restoring back to the heart, etc. So now I hope I have given you ample time to set yourself up in some fashion that is going to be sustainable and comfortable for you as we proceed through this meditation. And with all of that being said, I invite you now to gently lower your gaze or close your eyes. And as always, we begin every meditation by drawing our awareness into our bodies by connecting with our breath. And as you breathe, simply allowing your breath to flow into all of the points of contact between yourself and the earth beneath you. And truly beginning to ground down. If it helps you to visualize the breath, do so now. If it helps you to feel the ebb and flow of the breath, you may take your hands onto your belly, your abdomen, your chest, wherever they fall comfortably, in an effort to bring your awareness to that natural ebb and flow. And with every breath, begin to sink more deeply into the support of the earth beneath you. Feel that sensation of groundedness, of heaviness, of complete relaxation of every muscle in your body. And then begin to bring your attention to your throat. Notice how the air feels with each inhale and with each exhale. Does it feel cooler as the breath travels in from outside the body? Does it feel warmer as the breath releases anything stuck or stagnant from within the body? There is no right or wrong, and there is no judgment, only awareness of your experience with your own breath. And so continue. Do you feel the breath at the top of your throat, almost in alignment with your ears? Or do you feel the breath at the base of your throat, more in alignment with your collarbone? Does it change from the inhale to the exhale? If you visualize, does the breath have a color as it moves through your nose, through your mouth, into your throat, deep into your lungs and your belly? Is there any difficulty? Is there any strain as you breathe? Is there anything that you notice or feel, especially in the area of your neck and throat? See now, if you can, visualizing with your mind's eye the tiniest spark of iridescent blue light, the very center of your throat. As you breathe, while continuing to visualize this light, notice for you if it changes in size, in shape. Allow the breath to flow over this light like water over a rock illuminated by the sun. Inhale and exhale. Washing away, clearing any stuck or stagnant energy. Set the intention for yourself now to allow your breath to create this release of anything stuck, anything trapped, anything buried, anything under the surface. Set the intention for your inhales to wash the space in and around this light free of anything holding it back, and allow your exhale to begin to uncover, release, urge, and set free anything keeping this light small, whether it's a color, whether it looks like wisps of black or gray smoke, whether it looks like water, heavy and dirty, being rinsed away, whether it looks like fire burning, clearing and purging. Allow whatever visualization comes through for you to feel and be exactly what you need in this moment. And as you continue to breathe, start to allow each inhale, like a bellows, to increase the size of this spark of light within your throat. Allow it to brighten the color. Allow every breath to expand this part of you. Allow it to reshape if need be. Allow it to become so big that you can look within it as you would through a microscope. And as you do, allow it to show you what it is you need to see. Do you see it with your mind's eye now? Is it a truth that you have had trouble facing or expressing? Is it an image from your past that has created a blockage? Is it a container allowing you to bring balance to an overly expansive leak of the energy from your throat chakra? What can you see within the expanse of this blue light in your throat? Or what can you hear? What does your own voice have to share with you? Is there anything physically coming up for you? Do you feel a blockage, a tickle, difficulty swallowing? These are all sensations and ways that your body can communicate with you if visualizing is a challenge, or if all you hear is silence. Breathe here in this space, allowing the light of your voice to expand, take up space. Allow its light to begin to extend down into the space of your heart chakra, and up into the space of your third eye. Allow this connection between the green blue below and the indigo blue above to allow your voice to be blessed with divine wisdom and truth that is universal, and softened by the kindness of your heart, so that when you speak, it is with weight and love. Allow this integration with your permission to move through you. Allow your throat chakra to be both open and balanced. Set the intention now for yourself to release any and all blockages, whether self-imposed or externally imposed upon you, to be cleared and removed permanently from your voice, from your throat, from any and all physical, mental, emotional, etheric, energetic, and spiritual blocks. And declare your voice free now. Set the intention again. I am free. My truth is inherent to me at any given moment. And I speak with balance, compassion, and unyielding discernment. If you feel the call to, bring your hands around your throat, palms to the front, fingertips to the back. Seal this intention in. Bring your palms then to your heart center to ground your voice deep within your well of compassion and self-love. And bringing your palms to the middle of the forehead, sealing this intention in truth and divine law. And then releasing your palms wherever they fall comfortably. As you gently begin to breathe in a sensation of gratitude for your freedom of expression, gratitude for the self-love that you have gifted to your body and your voice and your truth on this day. Gratitude for the breath that flows through you and carries your voice. And gratitude to those who listen. Most of all, Gratitude for your own conscious discernment, knowing that when you speak, it carries weight, and knowing that when you choose when, how, and why you speak from a conscious, gracious place, trusting in your discernment, trusting in your intuition, trusting that your voice speaks for your highest and best good, even when that highest and best good is silence. Being grateful for the silence that speaks even louder than your words. Take another deep breath, focusing again on the blue light, the very center of your neck and throat. Say out loud the words, thank you. And then begin to breathe deeply through that blue light into all of the extremities of your body, your fingertips, your toes, all the points of contact between yourself and the earth beneath you. Ground your truth back into your body, breathing balance into this light within you, breathing space in and around your throat chakra, breathing your awareness and consciousness back fully and completely into your body with the intention of an open, balanced, expressive, and conscious voice, which belongs only to you. And when you feel called, gently open your eyes. As always, and with any meditation practice, make sure to ground yourself fully and completely before coming out of the meditation. Even though I may end this practice now, you may stay as long as you feel called. Continue to breathe and be in your truth in this moment and in all moments. Freeing your voice with the discernment and knowledge of when to use it, how to use it, and when silence speaks louder than your words ever could. Make sure to drink water. Make sure to take any notes that you feel called to take about what came up for you in this meditation. If you need extra grounding and you are not allergic, dark chocolate is very helpful, or any small amount of food after a meditation practice. Again, make sure to stay hydrated. Make sure to gently move yourself back into an upright position if you were reclined. And again, as always, I want to let you know how much I appreciate each and every one of you for sharing this space with me. And I ask that you please feel free to share the same with your loved ones. For more goodness, follow me on all the socials at Above the Ground Podcast and visit my website, airsAboveYoga.com. Don't forget to check out all of my other episodes and my amazing sisters at the Divas That Care Network. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Odyssey, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, and YouTube, or anywhere else that you may feel guided. Again, my name is Gia-Raquel Rose, owner of Airs Above Yoga, and you are listening to Above the Ground podcast, where every day is a good one.